God, don't give up on me yet. I know I'm not your best bet, but I'm trying. Don't give up on me yet. Ooh, and God, don't leave me here alone. I know I need to grow still, and I'm trying. Don't leave me here alone.
Somebody gon' get to tell them that I'm coming. And you can tell them that I'm coming. Tell them that I'm coming. Somebody tell the world that I'm coming. I'm trying to tell the world that I'm coming. Tell them that I'm coming. Somebody tell the world that I'm coming. Somebody tell the world that I'm coming.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another conversation with Trent, featuring my lovely, beautiful, nutritious coach, Catherine Githu. We're talking about gut. We're talking about microbiome gut. Let's talk about it. Catherine comes up with all the topics for the nutrition segment. Let's bring her in real quick. What's going on from the States? And Catherine, say hello. Good afternoon from France. 1 second. Hey.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Doing good. What about you?
Good. Can't call it might spoil it.
Good. That's
Good
beautiful.
stuff. So for the
Yeah.
folks, as you can see, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go on. No. I was just saying, I saw your book there. Well, the last time we talked to you, were almost publishing your book.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. The recovery book is out.
Okay.
Published it last week. I think it was out last week on the 8th. It's available at Amazon across the world. Barnes and Noble, of course, Walmart, Target, all anywhere books are sold, you can get the recovery book. And the recovery book is here. Good stuff.
That's
It's a book about the recovery. It's a book about information mostly on the recovery. I was telling Catherine, it's kind of boring to my regular readers, my very faithful readers. They're looking for the actual novel, with the drama and all that stuff and what happened throughout my recovery. But I wanted to give this first. This is very important for people like myself. So, people that's not as far as in the recovery as I am, just to give them a little light to get through that dark tunnel, the recovery book. So good stuff.
congratulations. That's very beautiful.
Thank you so much. So, beneath the surface, unveiling the mysteries of the gut microbiome.
Yeah.
Where'd you come up with?
I hope you're expecting to learn something new. I hope.
Every time I'm on with you, I'm learning something new. Every
Okay.
single time. So tell me, what's microbiome?
Okay. Let's say microbiome. It's a collection of microorganisms that they live together. And in this case, we're talking about human. There are some microorganisms that lives in and on us. So we have skin microbiome. We have what is inside microbiome. We have lungs. We have, for women, we have vaginal, and we have the gut microbiome that we are going to concentrate ourselves on today. And I wanted just to say to those people who are listening here, if you have been dealing with diseases, like if you have asthma, you have acne, um, what do we call these things? Skin diseases that really you feel like no medication is helping. Obesity, diabetes, a lot of diseases are related to your gut microbiome.
Hmm.
So we're going to unveil how your gut microbiome affects your health, right? That's where we are today. So you discover much like as we go on. Hope you take notes for those who are listening. But anyway, there'll always be the to listen after, right?
Absolutely. They could actually get that soon they'll be able to get it on your YouTube channel. So
Yeah,
good
for
stuff.
sure, for
Real good
sure.
stuff.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
before we get out, just make sure we tell the folks where your channel is so they can find it and discover it.
For me, you can find me on foodandheal.com. That's where you get the recipes, and also I write articles there. So you have good resources if you're really interested in having good health, in like
Okay.
promoting your health. Yeah.
Good
You
stuff.
know, the other day I posted something on the Facebook, and I said the absence of diagnosis doesn't mean your health. You're
I saw
healthy.
that. I saw that.
Yeah. And yeah, it's some people were like, "What do you mean?" And it's
I
not
kind of
because
chuckled. I kind of chuckled because it was more of a you think you're out there, but you're not type situation. So I kind of like
exactly.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I got it. I totally got it. Totally got it.
Cool. Cool, cool. So yeah, so for those who are listening and those who are going to watch this after, um, welcome, and let's go on. Let's kick and find out.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So, what does the role of the gut microbiome play with your health?
Uh, Let me just start with the gut. For now, I just say the microbiome, the microbiome as a whole, and let me
Okay.
just start with the gut microbiome. What is it? And
Gotcha.
when you're talking about what is affecting your health, okay, there is the skin, and the skin will just affect what is outside. However, when it goes to the gut microbiome, is the most researched, and it's the most that affects our health.
Okay.
We have a bit of 37 trillion cells, human cells, and we have above 100 trillion bacteria genes in our cells. That
Really?
means we are more bacteria than
Than
human.
anything, right?
Yeah, in anything.
I did. I
Yeah.
had no idea. Wow.
So yeah,
What
yeah,
you said? 100 trillion?
like over 100, over 100 bacteria
Wow.
genes.
So we walk
So
around.
yeah,
So we walk
we're
around like big diseases, right?
so we're now the thing is how we grew up, like we most people grew up knowing that bacterias or pathogens are very bad, and that's why people keep on sterilizing their houses, washing their hands all the time, you
Right.
know. Uh, and we have this microbiome, that these bacteria and pathogens, actually when we say microbiome, they are
Hmm.
microorganisms, and these microorganisms, they are um, bacteria, viruses,
Right.
yeast, fungi, um, parasites. So it's not just bacteria. We talk mostly about bacteria because bacteria are the ones who are really playing a big role
Right.
in the gut. So when we have these, you have them in the mouth, you have them in the small intestines, but they are not as much as the ones that are found in the colon, the big
Why? Why
intestines.
is that? Why is that?
Why the small mouth? The mouth
Now,
is small.
why? Why do you find them? Why do you find them? You'll find them as you said. You'll find them in the small intestines.
Some in the
Some.
small intestine, yeah,
So
but
what's the difference
majority,
between what's the difference between the two?
because the small intestine is where you assimilate your food.
Okay.
The big colon is where they habit. That's their home, and that's where they produce other
Okay.
metabolites. So, for example, we're going to realize that when you eat your food, you don't just eat your food for yourself. Most people just say, I'm eating, but you're not eating for yourself. You eat, but the food that you don't digest goes to the colon, and that's why where the microbiome breaks down the
Gotcha.
fiber, precisely the fiber.
So what you're saying
Okay.
is that's why it's so important to know exactly what you're consuming.
Exactly, exactly.
Gotcha. Mhm.
So, as you said, how do I get microbiome? I think that's a question you asked me, right? Did you ask me that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. How do you get your microbiome? The faster microbiome you get it at birth. So, uh, babies who are born naturally, they get their first microbiome from the birth canal, like the vaginal microbiome of the woman is what the baby going to swap that as they get inside, as they get out. So they get into the gut, they travel through the gut. However, the kids who were born through C-section, they get the microbiome from the person who first touched them. So you get mostly from the skin what you have been put on.
Okay, I
You have a
get it.
question?
No,
Yeah.
no, no. I'm learning over here. I'm learning over here.
And so that's how you acquire the first microbiome. And this microbiome will realize in future they play a huge role in your health because the kid who was born through the C-section now doesn't have the adequate microbiome that is supposed to go and protect that baby as it grows up. That's
Gotcha.
why we find like most people who are born through C-sections in the future, they have eczemas, they have asthma, they are prone to get diseases. And
Right.
especially again, how do you get again your microbiome is also through breastfeeding. So the kids who are breastfed, they also get that maternal, not only from the skin, but also from the way they are being fed, from the milk. But now the baby who is getting the formula doesn't have that microbiome that is coming to populate the gut.
Right.
So these are two factors that really can determine, especially how you're going to grow up. I mean, are you going to be a healthy person in the future, especially if when you're really not having diversity of food.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 Gotcha. Gotcha. And how do we improve our gut microbiome? How do we improve our gut?
How do you improve your gut? Okay, you improve your gut. That is the last question. For me, it's what
I'm
role
sorry.
does the gut microbiome
I'm
plays in?
skipping over. I'm skipping over.
You're
I'm sorry. My
skipping.
apologies. My apologies.
Yeah. What role does the gut microbiome play in your health? Okay. So as I said, for those who the way you're born, if you're born with good microbiome, you're going to have good health. That means also if you're fed, the microbiome actually starts being diverse when the kids start eating solid food, because microbiomes really depends on plant foods. So the solid foods are going to become the fiber. In the first place, we don't give babies meat, right?
Right.
We give the babies plants. So the more the diversity, the more plant foods you're going to have, depending also where you live. For example, if you live as a baby or even as an adult, but let's go back into the small kid. If you lived in open places, in the parks, in the near the ocean, in the river, where you could have this microbiome coming in, you have more diversity. Um, and so you end up being more protected than a baby who was born C-section, had a formula, and lives in the city where they don't have we have all this pollution and all that kind of stuff. You get what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Right.
So the microbiome really plays a role in how we grow up and become, I mean, our health. Is our health is our health good, or we are struggling with some diseases?
Right.
Okay. So the gut microbiome, we have seen, or the studies, the science now shows it plays greatly in weight. Like there are some bugs that can really promote obesity, cravings. There are some others that, for example, if you have stress, there are some bugs that will only be activated when your immune system is it's suppressed. So stress will activate these bad pathogens, and so you're going to have problems, right? And guts also can help to how you're going to deal with the medications. We have seen some cancer patients who have good microbiome can receive chemotherapy well, while others, when they don't have good microbiome, they don't. Not chemotherapy. I'm talking about immunotherapy. They tolerate well some treatments, depending with the microbiome that we have. Um, Go on.
Explain a little bit about a good microbiome.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I missed that point. We have two distincts of microbiome. So we have good, but that's quad, and bad, because depending on how you're living, your your lifestyle, and your food, you can be eating plant-based, for example, and you go to a voyage, or you travel and you change your diet within maybe for 2 3 weeks, you're eating junk food. The good microbiome will become a bad microbiome. So it's not necessary that the good ones will always be good ones. So we have health promoting microbiome, bacteria mostly, and we have pathogenic. That means that when you don't have this balance, and actually the bacteria are the ones who really keeps the ecosystem.
Okay.
So when you have a good number of keystones, we call them keystones, bacteria, they are going to keep the others low. It's like in a jungle,
Right.
there is who is eating who is eating who is eating who, right?
Right.
So you need these bacteria to keep guard to the viruses, to other bad other bad
Mhm.
bacteria that can cause diseases. So that's why, for example, if you have what we call like leaky gut, we have some bacteria that are not really healthy promoting that are going to come into the bloodstream, and those ones are going to create diseases because the immune system is now chasing them, and like they also, like, we are humans and we go to poop, them also they poop or they produce metabolites, and those metabolites um, can harm our health. So it's like we have these the key bacteria that really keep the ecosystem really good, because actually they are there because they need us, right? Because they don't have somewhere to go and live. Because the ones that in the colon, for example, these are the ones who live without oxygen. You're not expecting to have oxygen in your colon. So that's why exactly, for example, when you asked me how come that we have these oxygens, some bacteria in the small intestines and not in the and so much in the colon, it's also because of the oxygen, because the one in the mouth can tolerate oxygens, some can tolerate, maybe not, but those in the gut, they are really they don't tolerate oxygen. So um, do you have question to ask me? I
No,
think
no,
I'm
go ahead.
talking too much.
No, 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 you're good. You're fine. This is your lane. I'm just here to learn. That's all. Go ahead.
Yeah. So there is that the difference between the good, the one that is going to promote your health, and the bad. But Depending on what you're eating, your microbiome will always adjust, will adapt itself.
Right.
So it doesn't mean that if you're just eating junk food, if I say so, that the good microbiome will die off completely. No, they will be there, they will adjust themselves, but your food is going to promote some certain maybe that are not going to promote the health. Whereas when you shift and you eat more of plant food, I'm not saying that you need to become vegan or plant based. When you eat more plants, you're going to promote the ones that are going to promote your health,
Right. Well, I
improve your
got to
health.
tell you, man, once I started changing my diet and going through the rigmarole of this recovery,
Mm,
the more plant food I eat, the better
mhm.
I feel. And the more that, for, I said this on a previous podcast we did,
Yeah,
the more plant foods I eat and stuff like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
the more my body communicates with me.
Because you're promoting those bacteria that are really going to promote your health.
Yeah.
There are also these bacteria who produce, as I say, they produce some metabolites. If
Mhm.
someone, have you ever heard of short chain fatty acids?
Yeah.
Short chain fatty acids like butyrate, which is very important for the health. And
Mhm.
it's produced by the gut microbiome, some of the gut microbiome. So if you don't have enough those who are producing, like when you're talking, we have trillions of these bacteria. They don't
Right.
all play the same role. Each has their own role to play. And
Isn't
so
that
there are those,
amazing?
sorry?
That's amazing to me.
Yeah, it is. It's really a big subject. It's really amazing.
It
I'm
is.
fascinated with this because me, when I learned about it, it's like, what? And especially
It's
when
amazing.
when you understand that your life, your health is really, it's determined by these bugs. It's not like
Exactly.
you just like, today I'm feeling like I want to eat a pizza. Fine, it's fine with you, but mind out who you're feeding.
I have to be honest with you, right?
Well, yeah.
My sister called me up one day, and there's this place called Pizza Hut. I don't know if you guys have it over in France, but
Yeah, the
Pizza
Pizza Hut. Yeah.
Yeah.
They make
So,
good pizzas. Yeah.
yeah, they do. So she called me up. She said, "Hey, I got a TikTok pizza for you." I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
She's like, "I'm coming over." And
Yeah.
I got to be honest with you, the first person I thought about was you. So, so I felt so guilty. I felt so, should I be eating it? So the very first person I thought about was you. I was like,
Yeah.
should I be eating this?
Yeah.
But
Well,
I did have a couple of slices, so it was good. So
it's good. I'm not, it's not bad to eat pizza, but it should not be your daily meal. You get what I'm saying?
right,
It's like it's either you're promoting your health or you're not. It's like just going with that line of you if are you going to eat this or not. There are so many times like here they make nice bread, they make croissants and all that. When you
right,
pass
right,
by the bakery, they are just smelling, and it took me time to
yeah,
really tell my brain that thing is not good for your health. And I had
exactly,
to keep on repeating myself, it's not good for my health. Then I started producing these things like I'm getting disgusted when I pass through them. And it's like, that's working. Because the more you
exactly.
feel disgusted about those things, then the more you feel that you don't want to go to you don't want to go there. And today it's like I'll pass there and I'll look at those things and I really want to eat some.
So
What would you? And then I'll just say, and how is that going to help you? And
exactly. So, ladies and
boom.
gentlemen, this is the downside of having a friend who's a nutritionist, right? You go to thinking
Yes.
about the things that you shouldn't be eating, right? I was actually my brother joined me at the gym now. We work out
Yeah. Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
And there's this place called Jersey Mike's for subs.
Yeah.
And so he was like, "Man, I really want to try the Jersey Mike's. Have you tried it?" I was like, "Yeah, it's real good." But I don't eat white bread.
Yeah.
So when I ordered it, he
Yeah.
went over to get it because I was literally like within steps of the gym. So I ordered on the app, and
Yeah.
we ordered the same sandwich, but he wanted white bread.
Yeah.
So and I wanted wheat bread,
Uh-huh.
something close to keto. So
Yeah.
so he's like, Why are you doing that? I said, because it's better for you. So I gave him half of mine to try it. He was like, ah,
Yeah,
okay. Okay.
yeah.
So this week he came back
Mm,
to the gym. He said, I'm gonna order me another sandwich, but I
mm.
think I'm gonna use I'm gonna get the wheat bread. I said, that's good.
Wow,
So
you
I asked
see,
him
that's a
why.
beautiful. Yeah,
I said, why are you getting the wheat bread? So
yeah.
he said, because it's lighter. The bread is lighter. It's like I
Uh-huh.
told you. But I said that to
Mm,
say
mm.
every time I order things, I think about you. I was like, well, would she eat this? Would she consume this? Would she do that? So
Good. That's
yeah,
beautiful.
it's
That's
simple.
beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah, we need to be conscious of what you're putting through.
Yeah, and that's a good thing.
It's
That's a good
it,
thing.
it
Man.
yeah, yeah,
It's a
yeah.
real good thing.
So okay. We go back to to the subject.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
What do we say? Uh, we're still into how does the microbiome, what role does it play in our health? From the beginning, there is, when it comes to the immune system, we have innate immune system, that the immune system that you were born with.
Right, right.
And guess what? Who trains the immune system? The gut microbiome.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah, the immune system is trained. The immune cells, they are trained by the gut who to attack and who not to attack.
Wow.
So, yeah, so when you have a bad, or when you don't have these health promoting bacteria,
Mm,
your immune system is also suppressed in a way, because now it doesn't have this good communication with the, because as I said, there are some bugs that want to grow up or
mm.
be activated when your immune system is low. So the immune system, the gut microbiome is really important when it comes to our health, and
One
we have
question
this
for you.
connection. Yeah.
How do we raise the immune system?
Sorry.
How do we raise the immune system when it's
How do you
slow?
raise it?
Yeah, how do you
Well,
raise it?
these are cells. It's like, once again, you have this microbiome that are going to, to talk with your immune
I
system.
got you.
And actually, the thing is, we have to be very careful when it comes to immune system, because there is a lot of time we say boost your immune system. But if you
Mm,
boost your immune system, it's going to eat everything. Immune system is the NAMI, right? So you don't want it to be active, overactive, or you don't want it to be low. It has to be like, just like the army, there is no
like an even
war. It's
keel. I
it's
got
surveying things, yeah.
you. Mm.
So there is that thing when we say boost your immune system, but actually I don't think you can eat foods that are going to help your cells,
I'm
because the
glad
immune
you said
system,
that because I'm very happy that you say that because here in the States,
yeah,
they always talking about boosting the immune system, boosting your
yeah,
immune system. So I'm
yeah,
glad you
yeah,
said
yeah. Yeah, you don't have to boost your immune system every time, because as everything, it can overreact. And especially for people who are, for us, for me, for example, I have an autoimmune disease.
that. Mm.
So you don't want that being hyperactive, because it's going to react and attack the cells.
Right, right,
Especially, okay, I'm not going to deep in this, but we have, as I said, we have two different immune systems. So we have the innate, the one that was you were born with, and there is adaptive immune system that adapts with as you grow up. So
right.
they are both trained by the microbiome. But when, for example, you have an infection, the first immune system that comes is immune cell that gets there, they are innate one. And when they come there, they just come there to explore what is happening here, and they can start bombarding stuff that are going to hurt your cells,
Exactly.
because it's not trained to adapt to, okay, this is Trent, don't touch Trent, but you can attack maybe Joseph, you get.
Right.
So before the adaptive immune system comes in and tells the innate, okay, I know this guy, I know this one, calm yourself, you don't have to attack him. The innate, that it doesn't know much like the adaptive. So
Gotcha.
you need the microbiome to deal with that, right? And so you don't need those highly active immune system.
Right. What
Yeah,
I gotta be honest here. When you
yeah,
when you sent me over the topic, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be a I'll be in school. So
yeah,
I'm like, okay, microbiome. Let's
yeah,
see what's going on with this. But
yeah,
once I started doing some research, I was like, wow,
yeah.
this is deep. This is really
It's
deep. This is gonna be
deep.
a real
It's
good this is gonna be a real good
yeah,
podcast because people like honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never heard of microbiome. Never,
got it.
never.
I got
So
it.
I was like,
Yeah,
wow. But as I
it's a
started
good.
research, I was like, wow, this is very important.
It's a deep, vast, interesting, very exciting topic.
It is. It is.
And especially when it comes from when you look at it from the lenses of medicine, because you say, okay, fine. Um, Here, I know, like the last time we did mental health,
Yeah.
and they are really doctors who are using I'm talking about psychiatrists who are using the food,
Hmm.
um, because the food is going to promote microbiome. And just the point I'm talking here is the gut microbiome communicates with the brain,
Right.
and the neurotransmitters that we need, like serotonin, dopamine, the good hormone, the sleeping hormones,
Right.
most of them, they are made by the gut microbiome. And so when your gut microbiome is compromised, and so you don't have those neurotransmitters, they are not getting all of them, they're not getting to the gut, to the brain. That's why, for example, some people are going to stay long in depression, for example.
Right.
So we need to really nurture our microbiome, because it's a phenomenon. It's a very beautiful thing. It helps us, I would say, be what we are, literally.
I get it.
Yeah. Okay. What was your question again? You have another question? I don't know what I told everything. I said everything I want to
That,
say.
yeah, you said everything you said, but I want to reiterate how important it is to
Mm,
eat clean and have a positive mindset because when we talk about microbiomes, we're talking about the effects and talking about how the brain, the body's speaking to the brain is speaking to the body. It's very important.
yeah,
And what we
exactly.
consume
Mm,
could actually interfere that. So if we're actually consuming junk, it could interfere our entire system. It could actually interfere
exactly.
in our entire system.
And that's the point, the next point. What affects your gut microbiome?
There you go.
The first thing is your diet. Okay, because as have seen, the plant-based, more plants, let me not say more, the plant-based food, more plants will promote healthy, promoting bacteria. Whereas if you're eating highly sugary food, highly processed foods, a lot of fatty diets, you're going to have the negative microbiome
Mhm.
becoming dominant. So you really need to have good food that is coming in. And there is having good food, like, okay, what is your good food? Eating maybe I like 5 vegetables and that's it.
Right, right, right,
But that's not the thing. You need to eat diversity of plants.
right,
Why? As I said, we have trillions of these species, and they don't all eat the same thing. So you need to have diversity of food so that you can have diversity of the microbiome, different bacteria.
right,
Different food feeds different bacteria. And so having more plants, and this, it's something that you can try to bring every new food in your diet every other week. Today I eat a lot of plants than I used to eat before I discovered microbiome,
right,
because, well, as we all knew, or most of us just know, all you need to do is to eat. But
right.
we don't even sometimes know why we eat. We just know we eat to survive. But to survive, there is surviving and there is having optimal health. So
Well, to be
having
honest with you, to be honest with you, I'm eating to live. At in this stage of my life, I'm eating
Yeah,
to live. So
you're eating to live.
yeah,
But now you're eating to live. But imagine if you could do something extra. Imagine that now knowing that, okay, fine, there's some species who are waiting there. Maybe they are not active, but they're just waiting for their food to come because you
right,
haven't eaten. Maybe your diet has changed since you had the accident. And
right.
so some of your microbiome has been suppressed because they don't get food. And it
Right
all
now,
depends. It
no, I get it.
go
When
on.
when I say I'm eating to live, I'm
Yeah.
eating healthier to live
Okay. Okay.
extended life.
Extend the life.
Yeah,
Yeah, not just you're eating calories. You need such amount or number of calories to eat. That's what
correct.
I meant. There are some people who just eat. How many calories do I need? And it
Right.
doesn't matter where those calories are coming from. But
I gotta
now
be honest. I gotta be honest. I don't count calories.
I don't count calories neither.
Okay.
I mean, especially when you get to eat more of plants, you know, plants, and I'm talking for me, I eat more the leaves. So I don't have that high caloric diet that is
Right.
the foods that are coming in. And if I do, I will counteract with eating more salads the following day. In any case, it happens. So the
That's it.
diets is one, sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So the diet is the one that really makes the affect the microbiome. So you
Mhm.
need to eat healthy foods and healthy more plants. The other things that really affects the gut microbiome is stress. The more you're stressed, the more you reduce your gut microbiome. Because
Right.
when you're under stress, you create cortisol, and cortisol can really make these bugs go down. It reduces the immune system. We talked a little bit earlier that when the immune system is low, some bugs are going to come up to be activated.
Right.
Okay, so try the best to get out of the stress.
Stressful situation.
The other
You know, I
thing
find.
that, sorry.
I find that as far as stress,
Mhm.
I haven't had stress in 5 years, and I feel so much better.
Yeah, it's
Are you there?
really,
I'm sorry. I may
yeah,
have lost you.
the stress is something that really affects the bacteria and also the life in general, and just in it really affects also the family members that you're living with or the people you're working with. The other
Yeah.
thing, to go quick, I don't get out of time, is the
Now you good.
antibiotics and the medication. Some medications are going to reduce the good microbiome, but the antibiotics, and this is what happens. We go back to the beginning of the baby who has been born. I remember my baby was born, and the first thing they did, they gave her antibiotics. And an year after, when I stopped breastfeeding my daughter and I started giving her formula, you know what happened? She had allergy.
Wow.
So I had to remove her from milk. So kids are born, and then every time a kid is sick, you go to the doctor. What the doctor do? They give antibiotics, even
Exactly.
when we know the antibiotics only kills the bacteria. They don't kill viruses or the yeast or whatever you have. So taking an antibiotic for 1 week swaps up to your microbiome, good and bad. There's some who can have the resistant, but it doesn't kill them completely, but it really lowers them.
Wait a
There's
minute.
some that are going to,
You're gonna be surprised. You, did you see my expression when you said taking antibiotics wipes it out?
yeah.
This is what I've been doing for the past week because I had the issue with the right ear, right?
Okay, yeah.
So can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
There
Yeah,
we go.
yeah,
So
yeah,
went to the doctor. We had to go to urgent care because I was having this ringing in the ear, right?
yeah, yeah.
And come to find out what's affecting the right ear, the
Hmm.
left side, was compromised, and that's where everything happened took place.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So my nervous system, as far as when I get these spasms, it affects the muscles in the ear,
Okay,
cause all types of issues.
okay,
And I got an ear infection, right? So they prescribe antibiotics. So when you said that, I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, yeah,
I've been
yeah.
on antibiotic for 7 days. I'm
For
off them now.
7 days. Now you're good. I took antibiotic. I had very bad acne, but the problem is that the dermatologist could
Mm,
never ever relate that with the autoimmune disease.
okay.
And so I took antibiotics for 1 year.
Hmm.
And I also had cortisone every day of my day.
Wow.
So when I discovered this, even sometimes when I read it, I'm like, yes, I come from far. It was like
But that's good though. I mean, you're so healthy now. So
I
it was
am healthy, but I would say remember again, the absence of disease doesn't mean that you're healthy. It's like I have come
right.
from afar, and I am lucky to know and to say, okay. So even when I can try to say it's okay, I can pass some things like you look back. I had a lot of stress when I was growing up. I got not good food. There, I got a lot of cortisone and immunosuppressors, suppressing medicine. I got 1 good year of antibiotics. So yeah, I really killed a lot of bugs in my system.
Good stuff.
And yes, when I started really eating good, eating plants, then when I really started feeling life coming back to me. So antibiotics will destroy your good good bacteria, and some drugs, as I said, that especially these drugs that people take for gut for acid,
Right, right,
they
right.
also they really affect the immune system, the bacteria. And the worst thing is when while you can get some coming back as you get your nutrition back, there are
Hmm.
some that are going to come. They have read studies where up to 2 years the
Wow.
microbiome didn't recover. Now, between those 2 years, if you took another antibiotics, we really have to be very careful. Antibiotics are good when it's necessary. My daughter just had them last 2 weeks. She had ear infection, not inside
I
but
saw that.
outside.
Yeah. Is she
It,
better?
she's very better. It was outside, it's not inside.
Okay.
But that time she got the antibiotics, I told her, you're not eating any sugary stuff. Make sure what you're eating outside. We go to the parks because we're going to look at that, how you can promote your gut. And
Hmm.
so bringing food that are going to help her nurture the little microbiome that is going to be left.
Gotcha.
Lack of sleep also affects the good bacteria. So we need to have this rhythm of sleeping enough, because when you're not sleeping enough, you have your cortisone up. We talked about how cortisone affects your
Hmm.
microbiome, and also the circadian rhythm, where you change the way you're not respecting the circadian. You know about it, the night and daytime, how you're supposed to
Absolutely.
sleep, because
Yeah.
this affects the way the gut, the bacteria metabolizes stuff. And also the fact that if you are used to, like, um, you don't sleep well, sometimes you don't go to the toilet enough, it affects your motility, right? And this can,
Mhm.
like, some most of the poo have gut microbiome. Most of them, they are swapped out. So
Gotcha.
when you're having this poo, or you're having constipation, you're having these things staying too much in the gut, and it can be harmful for the better microbiome. Okay.
Gotcha.
So how do you improve? That was the last question, I
That's the last
think.
question.
Okay. I let you ask me, or we go there.
Nah, go. We go there. That's fine. This
Okay.
this
So
should.
how do you improve your gut microbiome? We talked about it. Diet, eating diversity of food. Okay. And fasting. And I'm not saying, okay, everyone has to go to fasting. Actually, is you don't eat all the time. Meaning, when you eat your food, there are
Mhm.
some bacteria are going to break down the fiber that you brought, right?
Right.
And then they're going to have some byproducts. And these byproducts are going to be eaten by another bacteria, who is going to give another byproduct, who is going to be eaten by another bacteria. Okay. So it's like you have the first bacteria are digesting the real food, others are digesting the metabolites. Now, when you keep on eating, these are waiting for this one to stop working so that they can get their food. But these are always getting food. So they don't get, you don't have a variety of microbiome because these ones are not eating. So fasting means like not eating all the time. You eat your breakfast, you eat your meal in the lunch and in the evening, and have this like 12, 14 hours between the evening and the breakfast, so that that mechanism can happen where the digesters, the first will feed the second, I think second will feed the other digester, so that you can have complete breakdown in the nutrients. Because when they break the food you eat, they also produce good things like vitamins. We talked about that, and hormones, right?
Gotcha.
So the other thing that is going to affect it's the no, that is going to promote your microbiome is the nature, going outside. Like I said, when my daughter, I told her we have to go to outside almost all the time. We pick up the leaves. I tell her to smell flowers, touch
Right.
the barks of the trees, and then rub them on herself. So that's how you're getting the good microbiome. So you go to the nature, pick up stuff, and if you can picnic in the nature, that's a good thing. When you're in the nature and you want to eat, you don't need to keep on washing your hands. You can just, because you're touching the leaves, you
Right.
touch your food, and you're going to bring the microbiome, right?
Right.
Something else that is going to promote your health, your gut microbiome, is something that you have. It's your dear friend, pets.
Yeah.
Yeah, so people who have pets, they have good microbiome coming in because the pets go out, they roll, they come with microbiome.
Right.
And you realize that there are some people who like when they go through some accidents, they feel much better when they have the pets with them, not
Exactly.
just for
I
emotional
talk about
things, but
yeah, I talk about that in the recovery book.
yeah, it's not just because of the emotional stuff, but because also when they are running around, they're coming with a good microbiome, and that microbiome is really helping you. Now, you have to have good places where the dog can go and run, especially for
Right.
those who are in the city. I don't know, you go to the parks and that dog is bringing
So
the
what
microbiome.
we'll do is we'll transition from microbiome to the nature, the benefits of going out in the nature.
Yeah,
That's actually a great transition, and a lot of
yeah,
people don't realize the importance of going outside.
yeah, yeah. And going outside can be anywhere, on the beach, go to the mountains if you have mountains next to you. If you have a garden, go and garden, do gardening. And what would be good is when gardening, remove your shoes and don't wear gloves. You're touching the soil, you're
You got
touching
to
that
touch the soil. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, you have that microbiome coming in. I remember like some time back, I told my dad, we used to live in the farm and we went to the town, and my dad is like a city person. Like you go back to that farm, you remove your shoes and walk. You know,
Right.
that's where you really get. There is walking and being grounded, but there is that
Exactly.
being one with the nature, and it's really
Wh-
going
When
to
I
give
started
you the.
when I started gardening,
Mhm.
I had two 24-foot gardens. I planted a ton of
Wow,
vegetables and fruits and
wow,
but I found it so rewarding to
mm.
actually get down and work the dirt with my
Yeah,
hand.
with your hands, yeah. Touching that soil, yeah. And
Exactly.
ladies, don't worry about your fingers.
Exactly. Exactly. So we've approached the eight
Yeah,
out
just let
eight
let me
o'clock
just
hour.
yeah, let me just finish. And the other thing is you keep your doors open so that you let the good microbiome also to come inside. Don't over clean your house with all this. You're disinfecting your house because you're killing also the good microbiome. Um, the other thing is introducing probiotics and fermented food. probiotics, especially yogurts. What else? Fermented milk,
Mhm.
kefir, things that have microorganisms in them. They're going to bring you the microbiome. The fermented food depends. You can have living things there, but maybe they might promote health, they might not promote health. But eating fermented food also breaks down, fermenting breaks down the food that
Gotcha.
creates nutrients for you and also for the gut microbiome. So eating fermented food and probiotics is also one great thing that is going to help you to cultivate the gut microbiome.
Gotcha. So that's good
Yeah.
stuff. Catherine's always bringing the very informative information on nutrition. We really appreciate that. Really appreciate your expertise on nutrition. So on the next podcast, which is we'll go look over the date. Catherine and I do it twice a month. So
Yeah.
we'll be talking about nature, the benefits of going out in nature.
Okay.
On the next one. Yeah, that'll be good. But really appreciate that. I got to get to the gym. Got to get Kobe
Okay.
out for a walk before I get to the gym. But this is a great,
Okay.
informative podcast today on microbiome. I really appreciate that because I learned so much from you when I podcast with you. This is good stuff.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Tell the folks where they could find you so we could be in
Well,
touch.
once again, I am on Facebook, Catherine Wungoi, or Food by Githu. I have foodandheal.com. That's where I have my recipes, and you can read about microbiome as well. I have an article there. I have several articles there where you can read, inform yourself, and let's exchange this. And also, I'm going
You also have
to,
a book. You also have a book.
I have an egg book that is in Amazon, and you can type Catherine Gide from Amazon, and you're going to see my book from there. And I'm also going to open my YouTube channel so that I can be posting this podcast there.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good
Yeah.
stuff. So I'm gonna say good morning from the U.S. to France, and
No,
well,
this is afternoon.
good afternoon to you. So
Yeah, yeah. Good afternoon.
good stuff. Good
Yo,
stuff.
yeah. Have a nice morning. Have a nice day. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and let's talk next time.
We'll definitely do that. We'll definitely do that. So really appreciate that, folks. You can actually catch us on Spotify, Apple, YouTube channel, Taylor Kennedy TV, all that good stuff. And don't forget, the recovery book is out. The recovery book is out. So go and get it. Barnes and Nobles, Walmart, anywhere books are sold. Amazon. It's on Kindle. It's on Nookbook, everywhere. Ebooks, all that good stuff. So really appreciate the support. You guys take care. You want to close out, Catherine, for France?
I almost said it in French. Anyway, merci beaucoup, and à bientôt.
That's what I'm talking about. Catherine, you're international now. You're international. Good stuff, man.
Yeah,
Real good stuff.
yeah.
Real good
Thank
stuff.
you.
So
And
we'll talk.
for those who are streaming from Kenya, thank you for being there. And I hope this is informative to you. And what do we say that? Koheri.
Exactly. I tell you what,
Yeah,
that's the most proudest thing for me as far as broadcasting. I love that my people in Africa, you know how I feel about Africa,
I know, I know.
able to watch the program. So that's good stuff. So how do I say hello in your language in Africa?
You're saying bye bye. You're not saying hello. So you say Koheri.
I think you're right. You're right. Well, how do I say? I want to say hi to him though. I want to say hi, then I'll say bye.
Jambo. That is Swahili.
Jumbo,
Yeah,
jumbo. And
yeah.
how do I say
That's
bye?
Kwaheri.
Quietly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Always learning from my very beautiful friend, Catherine Githu. Of how many
Thank
years now?
you.
It's been about 14, 15 years or something like that.
Go to the
Good
gym.
stuff, man. Yeah, good stuff.
Go to the gym.
I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna go to the gym
Yeah.
right now. But this is a good one.
Okay.
We'll definitely talk soon, and we'll be back with another podcast. We do it
Nature.
twice a month on
Yeah.
nature. We'll be talking about the
Nature.
benefits of nature. So good stuff. You guys take care, and you guys be epic.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Conversations with Trent in conjunction with Taylor Kennedy Media and your radio network would like to thank you for calling in and listening to tonight's episode. We hope that tonight's conversation offended you just enough to turn your mirror inward to come back for more. So until next week's conversation, be